Welcome to ilectureonline. Now here's an example how to calculate the instantaneous power given a voltage and a current equation, which of course depend on time. Here's the amplitude of the voltage, the amplitude of the current, and the omega, the radial frequency or angular frequency of the oscillation. 377, that's the frequency of about 60 hertz. And so that looks like it might be household circuitry. Notice there's a phase angle of 30 degrees for the voltage and minus 20 degrees for the current. So how do we find the instantaneous power? We use the following equation. So what we're going to do is simply multiply the current equation times the voltage equation, which gives us this equation. All we need to do then is plug in what we have. So this would be 1/2 Imax would be 5, and Vmax would be 170. Times the cosine of the difference between the two angles, the current phase angle and the voltage phase angle. The current phase angle is minus 20. And we subtract from that the voltage phase angle, which is a positive 30. And then we add to that the cosine of twice omega t. So that would be 2 times omega, which is 377, times t plus the phase angle of the current, which is a minus 20 degrees, and then plus the phase angle of the voltage, which is a positive 30 degrees. All right, and we close the bracket. So that all we do here is simply take the two equations and plug them into our general formula. Now simplifying this, so this is equal to 5 times that would be 850 divided by 2, which is 425, times the cosine of minus 50 degrees. And notice, it again didn't matter what order we place these in, because the cosine of negative 50 equals the cosine of positive 50. So we'd get the same result, plus the cosine of twice that. Let's see here, twice that was 6, that's 740, 754 times t, and that would be plus 10 degrees as the sum of the phase angle. All right, so do we have everything good enough? Okay, now we're going to plug in what the cosine of 50 degrees is. Let's see here, where's my calculator? There we go. So we take 50, take the cosine, and we multiply that times 425. And so that gives us about 273. We'll round it off to 273. So this is 273 plus, multiply it there, we get 425 times the cosine of 754t plus 10 degrees. And that would be the power as a function of time. So there's the result. Let's graph this function and see what it looks like. So here we go. There's the power versus time graph. And notice that the offset is 273. Now notice that we probably want to put brackets around this. And power is, of course, the units that will be in watts. So the result is in watts. And so the offset will be 273 watts. So we'll put a little dashed line here. So this dashed line is 273 watts. And then the amplitude of the oscillation is 425. So when we add 425 to that, that gives us 698. So we'll do a dashed line here. This will be the top of the oscillation curve of the power. So that would be 698 watts. And then when we subtract 425 from this, that would, let's see, 273 minus 425. Well, let's turn it around. 425, well, I have a calculator in my hand, I might as well just do that. 273 minus 425, that gives us minus 152. So the lowest point the curve gets to is about a minus 152. It's right here. Minus 152 watts. And the phase angle is 10 degrees. That means the cosine of 0 starts at the top of the curve. Plus 10 degrees means it's shifted over 10 degrees, so the curve goes to like here. And then we end up with something that looks like this. Notice at the maximum, you get 698 watts. At the minimum, minus 152. And then the typical average value here runs you about 273 watts. That would be the power consumed in this particular circuit with those particular voltages and currents as a function of time. And that's how we find the instantaneous power given the current and the voltage.